First in our lineup, a BNI connector for over 8 years. Positions served include chapter mentor for 7 years, visitor host coordinator 3 years, membership committee 2 years. She has also served secretary treasurer, VP, and education coordinator. Our chapter president, Adrian Hart. Next, we have a BNI director. Next, we have a BNI director in her 5th year, former member of the year, visitor host for 4 years, membership committee for 2 years, and a former chapter president herself, our vice president, Ashley Cosgrove. Now let's hear it for another 5-year veteran who has been visitor host coordinator, education coordinator, membership committee, assistant VP, and VP. And we're lucky to have him as our assistant VP, Seth Carter. And finally, a 2-year member of the Connectors, former education coordinator, a true giver and super substitute, the man with 3 names, and our secretary treasurer, Mr. Keith Norris Miller. Thank you for attending BNI Connectors Park. Let's give them all another hand.
George does sports announcing part-time, so I thought who's a better person to announce us than George. So when we were putting together the presentation this year, we thought, okay, what can we actually do for a super performing, well-attended, well-established, award-winning chapter? And what we came up with is adding value. So over the last couple of years, it's been really important. We've all noticed how our time should be spent. You know, COVID really gave us that awareness, and being able to spend it with people that mean something, that add value to your life, is super important. So we are bringing you the big value proposition. With that, we're going to add to all BNI Connectors membership by improved meeting efficiency,
more contests and incentives,
lots more recognition,
more time together,
and more communication. To value something is to consider it with respect to worth, excellence, usefulness, or importance. And you are all valuable members in the Connectors team.
Absolutely, thank you, Ashley. So improved efficiency. So you notice that we changed the furniture around a little bit, so now it's an all-inclusive environment, and we would love if you could do your open networking here, not back there, but in this big space. We have new signage for the check-in process. We've got a new visitor host team who are going to introduce all of the visitors to Power Partners, get them set up on lunch, make sure that they know how our meeting runs, and get them prepared. We have upgraded equipment. We've got a new awesome speaker. We've got a new laptop. We've got this really cool clicker that has a timer on the display. So when speakers give their presentations, they will see how much time they have left, and it will vibrate in their hand at 2 minutes and 1 minute. So we won't have to look around the room and go, where's the timer? How much time do I have? So this was the best $60 that we've ever spent. So we're going to have a pre-chime during the presentations. We sort of heard that a little bit earlier, that will actually give you a warning of, okay, it's time to say your name and wrap up, because as we grow, we want to make sure we finish on time. It's really important. And starting November 1st, testimonials will be 12 seconds instead of 15. So we're going to have focused, meaningful testimonials. Keith, give them the last one.
Another thing that we wanted to incorporate is something that we had in football at college, which was a three clap, right? So one of the things, instead of clapping, that takes up a lot of time. So what we're going to do, you'll have us, I'll say, hey, let's give them 3, 1, 2, 3, and we all go 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's do it real quick. All right, let's give him 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Great job. So, and we are ramping up the competition, and we're going to have more contests and incentives. We're looking at doing more you versus you and team things, that weekly, monthly, quarterly incentives that require us all to perform together. We'll compete with other chapters and offer incentives to the power teams as well. And since I have the new debit card with this cute little puppy on it, the prizes are going to be outrageous.
Appreciate that, Keith. That's great information. So this year, what we really want to do is we want to step up our recognition. How are we going to do that? We're going to start by recording our weekly presentations. So make sure you come, trimmed and groomed and looking good, because this is going to get posted on all our social media pages, courtesy of Brian. So we appreciate your efforts there. Other thing that we're going to do is we're going to share notable networkers and the milestones. So when somebody hits, 1 million thank you for closed business, we're going to start promoting that online, not only on our BNI Connectors page, but we are going to promote it across the whole BNI platform. So not only our chapter, but all of Arizona will know about that. The other thing that you noticed, Keith handed out some bling, some swag today. So that's going to help differentiate us from our visitors and our guests so that they can come and introduce themselves. And also, who knows, if you guys are performing well this year, you might get a little extra bling to attach to it.
Flair.
So, this quote really, I think, hits it on the head. Community is about doing something together that makes belonging matter. And belonging to this chapter matters to most of us. So we are going to spend more time together. Jason Pesh and the other parts of the event team have an awesome holiday soiree planned. We're going to have a family picnic, which will be all family included. We're going to do that in the spring. We'll have monthly social get-togethers. We're going to do a few community service events together. We're going to get volunteers together with just the connectors, and we're going to do it cross-chapter just to involve more people. We're all givers, and I think when we have a focused time to spend together that's meaningful and memorable, it just makes better connections. We're going to adopt some families for the holiday, back to school. We're going to find other ways to actually gather up and drive more time.
Awesome. And then before I start, I'm allowing you guys to take out your phones and take a picture of this slide so you guys can have our contact information. But something I'm really excited about is we are improving communication. So we're going to be sending out weekly emails, and we're going to be starting a group chat on WhatsApp for the Connectors members where we can share links to Wisdom Wednesday, chapter goals, progress, meeting focus and details, event reminders, notifications from Facebook Mafia, and even more. And then we're going to do good old-fashioned phone calls to check in with members. So make sure that you've snapped this screen so that you can have our numbers. Oh, and it's still me. Cool. So we are going to go over our annual chapter goals that we have for this coming year. So up first, we have our CEUs for our visitors. Those are our chapter education units. These help us become better chapter members and business leaders. So our goal for the whole year is 4170, and that equates to 4 per month per member. For visitors, we have 174, and that equates to just 2 per year per member. Yeah, we can totally do that. Easy. And then we have one-to-ones where we each meet up one-to-one outside of the meeting. We have 48.95 or 5 per month per member. And then referrals, we have 48.85 or 5 per month per member. And for our thank you for closed business, we have our angel number. $11,111,111, which equates to a seat value of $135,000. And we also want to focus on Power of One this year. So we want 65% of members, to be in the green and 35% in the yellow. And then no members in the red or gray for more than 60 days. And like Seth mentioned in recognition this week, we are already at 51% in green and 54% in yellow. So we are almost there.
And let's give that 3. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome, fantastic. Okay, so for the next 3 minutes, that doesn't mean put your head down and take a nap. Okay, this video clip really made an impact on my life about 7 years ago. It is really motivational. It really had me look at how I was showing up in my relationships, in my business, and to all the people around me, and really look at what else can I give. So I really want you to pay your attention. How many times I watched that? We've all been in a place where we haven't given everything that we have. We know we have more. And I know this is just BNI, and it's just referral networking. But where else does this apply in your life? What if you couldn't see the obstacles that were in your way, and you could push through in business and in your relationships? What if there were no doubt and only fire inside you? The pushing through was hard. What could you actually do? Are you really capitalizing on your BNI membership? Or are you just a 90-minute member? Do you visit other chapters? Do you sub for other members? Are you in the green on Power of One? If you are, what small improvements could you make to raise your bar? Be Brock Kelly. Or if you're already there, be the coach.
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. So this time I'm gonna go over our month to date. So we have our monthly overall attendance right now is at 96, and I can tell that you guys are trying really hard to find subs, and I absolutely love that. So keep doing that. Right now we're killing it with visitors. We are at 5 with a goal of 12 for the month. We have our one-to-ones at 130 with a goal of 500. CEUs, which is our continued education units, is at 60 with 500 as our goal, and then our referrals are at 65 with a goal of 395. Can you guys see these numbers? No. Okay, I can barely see them too. Okay, noted for next week. And then our thank you for closed business is at 25,000 with a goal of 925 this month. Now, what this is telling me is we are not quite logging it until the end of the month. So make sure that you're logging your numbers every single week. We want our visitors to see how amazing we are, and not all of them come at the very last month, or at the very last week of the month. With that, I'm gonna hand over the membership committee report to Mandy.
Okay, so right now we have 4 active applications, and you can see the open categories up there. Some categories we're really looking for is a handyman, a carpet tile cleaner, and a physical therapist. So feel free to ring those folks, and we should be wrapping up those applications this week.
All right, thank you guys.
Oh boy.
So, listening to this whole thing with the new leadership teams make me think of all of us on a freeway, on a very long highway, and we got goals to get down to the end.